expands. You walk out in the sun, your cornea shrinks, right? So it adjusts according to the light. Something similar happens inside the lens also. So there is an opening in the lens. The more you open, the more light will enter the lens and create the object. The less aperture, or the more you shrink it, less light will enter the camera and the object image will be formed. Um, what is shutter speed? It's the time the lens is open and the light enters. So when we talk about the exposures, when we talk about clicking a very good photograph, we all have seen National Geographic and good magazines showing you very good, amazing photographs. So the people just try to, play around with the light. They just try to make sure that the right amount of light enters your camera and creates the object. So when we talk about shutter speed, when we talk about ISO, when we talk about the aperture, it's nothing else. It's just the three criteria that you have to play around with to manage the light that gets inside your camera and then creates the image.
Do we? And I just want to tell me what battery or lead represent in nature. In simple terms, basically, it's not like it's not about the subject. It's about what you want to say with the subject. What's the emotion that you're trying to find. So these are the four important messages, and we would be talking more about these three things today. If you look at this line, this gracious S-curve that is going, is taking you directly to the frontal lenses. And the technique, actually, as you mentioned, we have around 9 different zones in this particular photograph. The zone, I mean 9 different tones. We have from extreme white to extreme dark. Okay, so if you look at this portion, it is like you want to capture it and show to others, or maybe for your own perspective. So basically, photography is a process of discovery, and you are recording the discovery, right? Well, photography process. This camera. I remember one interesting conversation somebody had with John Shaw. John Shaw is a famous nature photographer. And he was showing one photograph, and somebody asked him like, "Hey, which camera did you use? Can you tell me the camera name?" He said, "It's not my camera who goes and takes the photograph. It's me who goes and takes the photograph." So he really got angry at that journalist. But that's true, because it's not autofocus, auto exposure. It's not going to make you a good photograph. This is an example. Basically, I take this workshop for mostly nature photographers. So the idea is, if you want to be a better nature photographer, you have to be a better naturalist. And if you want to be a better portrait photographer, you should love people. That's the common thing. So if you don't love people and you want to be a better photographer, portrait photographer, no, you can't. Actually, I remember one of the sessions I was telling this, that if you want to be a better model photographer, then somebody asked me, should I love the model? I said, no. That's what I'm trying to say.
Good one.
So basically, you should love what you are trying to shoot. That migrant worker photo, it's actually a message. This, I don't know how many of you agree photography is an art form. There's so much debate on that. The photography is an art form or not. I would say photography is very much an art form, because art is something that you're trying to express your emotion on one particular something. If you want to express something about, say, this horse, and you want to express that's an art form. And which medium you want to convey, maybe you could be a painter, you paint it, you could be a poet, you write about it. And if you're a photographer, you write a photograph. So it's basically that emotion, how that subject impacted you are trying to convey. That is basically the definition of an art, one of the definitions of art. Okay, so to achieve that, in photography, you need to have a good composition skills. Through good composition, you will be able to convey that message to the audience. Actually, what is triggering you to take that picture. So try make this as a practice. And keep on asking yourself, why I want to take this picture? What is compelling me to take this picture? So what will happen is, that time that message you are trying to convey, you will be very clear with the message you want to convey. If you are not clear, then the audience is not going to be clear, right? I was saying, express your subject in elements of design: color, line, will come with us. Another important thing, think of a caption. So when you take a picture, you think of a caption, what is I going to put? If the caption you come up with is just the name of the subject, say tree or a rock, then it is actually a record show. You better don't take the picture unless you are in a casual mode and try to take some snapshot. So really going out there and want to take that picture, you give a caption, try to give a caption and see whether it is, there should be some adjective, some verb, some emotion should be there. If there is no emotion there, I would say better don't take it. If the main subject is not the bright area, then that is no longer the main subject. I will show you the example. If you look at this picture, what is this picture about? I wouldn't agree, because I would say this picture is more about this white patch. That is actually what I call a distraction. Because that white patch is taking the attention away from the ground, right? That is the brightest area. I will show you in Arizona. If a person is standing here and I have to take the same photograph, the attention would go here. It will look at that person, I agree. It won't stay there. Because the main subject is that form. In the photograph, we should use figure lens, not horizontal lens. We want to convey the calmness, peacefulness, we should use horizontal lens. Another one is the diagonal line. This is actually this is taken near the Tibetan monastery near Medicare Code. Any of these four intersections, your photograph will be radiated. I will show you an example. If you look at this picture, imagine this picture, this subject, if you look at this, if you divide this frame into two vertical lines and two horizontal lines, she is at that intersection, right? Imagine the same picture, she is standing in the middle. Which one do you think is effective? This one, right? But I don't know why that is so, but that is so that is called fill the frame. And there is a famous quote by Robert Capa. He's a famous war photographer. He said, "If your pictures aren't good enough, you aren't close enough." So that is really true. So how do you get close to the subject? Is either you move your feet or you have to use the zoom. Then some of the composition do's and don'ts. Very important, research and planning. So as I said in the beginning, no great photographs are accidents. So it's all about how much planning you do, how much research you have done, what all you have learned about the subject. So once you, especially it's very true in wildlife photography. So it's not about the big lenses. It's you have to, how close you can get to the subject. To get close to the subject, you have to know the subject behavior, what time the subject will be active. So all those things, that is called the research and planning. So when you do the photograph, if you are planning to go some places, research about the place, plan. You have to, basically they say you have to get that spirit of that place. You have to get that spirit, what that place is all about. Partly eliminated, the other one. Exposure is actually difficult because you have to read. I showed you that snake river. The exposure should be accurate, and it is difficult. Backlighting is like the light source is behind the subject. Gate for silhouette. So sunset pictures, if you see people standing at the beach, they look like sheep. That's an example of a backlight. And exposure is difficult. I will show you with that. This is an example of sunlight. If you look at this, the light is directly falling on the subject. It's a late evening light. You can see it's evenly illuminated from the part. There is not much shadow, right? And exposure reading is completely. This is an example of a side light. So this, if you look at this light, it's like falling this particular light, and there is so much shadow, so there is so much highlight. And the exposure reading should be reading, because you have to take the exposure from this particular. There's actually a part of that technique. How do we take reading from for these kind of pictures?